Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Love Apparel, and in today's video I'll be sharing with us how I went about the drafting of this beautiful trendy Victoria overbust corset with yoke and a curved hemline. So if this is what you're interested in, you definitely want to keep on watching, and if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit on the notification bell also, and let's get started with this video. So I'm using this pattern paper for my drafting. I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder line, my chest line, my bust line, my under bust, my half length, my corset length, and my hip line. I came down with 5 inches from my half length to get my corset length. I divide my shoulder by 2 and mark and connect the lines. I divide my bust pant by 2 and mark from my bust point to my corset length. I loo the line. So coming to my shoulder, I came down with 1.5 inches for my shoulder slope. For my neck, I came in by 3 inches width and 3 inches depth. That's for basic neckline. I connect my lines and I curve my lines. I connect my shoulder slope. I divide my bust by 4 and mark. I came out with 1 inch for my shoulder slope. At my shoulder, I divide to get my midpoint. I came in with half an inch and connect it back to my armhole. I came out from my corset line. I came out with 1 inches. That's my center front. Then at my under bust, I came out with 0.75 and I came in with 1.25 from my corset dart. So I connect it back to my corset line by I came in after the 1 inch with 2 inches to connect it back to my corset line. I came down with 2 inches from my bust point to get my bust dart, and I connect it back to my bust point. At my shoulder, I divide to get my midpoint and I connect it back to my bust dart. So I curve it very well. I curve my dart. From my chest line, I came in by half an inch. I came down by half an inch. At my armhole, I get my midpoint. I came in with half an inch again, and I connect it to my bust line. So it depends on what you want. If you want it higher, you can come up or come down with whatever you want. So for my overbust tightening, I came in with 0.75 and I came out with 0.75, and I connect it back to my dart. Overbust tightening, I connect it back to my dart. So I make sure that the two lines are equal, so that when sewing it, one will not be longer than the other, or you'll be lacking material to complete it. So you have to make sure the two lines are equal to complete it to be the same. So I came up with half an inch from my armhole and my bust point to mark a new armhole, as in to give it a better pointy look. So I cut open. Now you can see the darts matched, they are the same length. So that's it for the dart. I slide open my bust line. So now we are making use of this new line that matched with the other one. So ignore the first line. So we're making use of this new line. This dress has a turtleneck lace, as in the inner lace is a turtleneck. So for a turtleneck, we'll make it two and a half width and 2.5 depth. So I'll go ahead and connect my lines and curve it. Now I extended my shoulder slope to that 2.5 inches that we have. So this is the neckline we will use for our inner lace. Use your tape, your paper tape, to tape this place. From my underbust, this is my center front. So from my underbust, I came out with 0.75, and I came in with 1.05 for my underbust for the dart. So it's 1 inches here. So what I got here, I measured what I have here, and I mark it after the 1 inches, as you can see, which is this line, which is 2 inches. So I came out with 0.5 from my half length and curve it back to my underbust and connect it back to my corset length. Connect it back to my corset length. Came in again from my half length. I came in with 0.5, which is this line. So connect it. I mark it and connect it down to my corset length, and to my corset length. So that is what we did here. Divide my bust by 4 and mark +2 seam allowance. At my underbust, I divide my underbust by 4 and mark my bust under 4 and mark. So because this line is going up, I measured what I have here. I place it after my underbust and I mark it. I divide my half length by 4 and mark +1 inches allowance, and on my fabric I will still add allowance. I divide my hip by 4 and mark plus seam allowance added to each seam allowance. So I want to use this plain paper to draft our inner main bodice for the inner lace. So I started from my underbust. I draft, just watch across the line I'm marking. Mind you, you can still cut it and just use your normal free marking to mark your normal basic bodies. So I draft all my chest line, my bust line, my underbust, my side bust dart, and my neckline. So this is it. Let me trace it out and cut it. So this is what we have. This is for our front bodies. So let me cut it off. Just watch the line I'm cutting out. So I placed it to cover the dart. So here I added 1 inches. Mind you, you can add any design just like you saw on the thumbnail. They have different designs at this design. So I'm using my free hand to just curve my. So you take your time, any style you want. This is where you can achieve it. So this is what I came out with. I hope it's beautiful. So you can go ahead and do your own design. Any design you want is okay. Just make sure it's what you want. So here, let me cut it off. So if you have any question, you can still ask me. So this is it for our overbust corset. So here is the back. I'm gonna head to mark and label it. I mark my shoulder, my chest line, my bust point, my under bust, my half length. From my half length, I came down with 5 inches for my corset length and my hip line. So I've gone ahead to label everything. I divide my bust by 4 and mark. I divide my under bust by 4 and mark. I divide my half length by 4 and mark. My hip line, I divide it by 4 again and mark. So I connect the lines. On my drafting, both the front and back patterns, at my half length, I came in with 1 inch for my waist snatch. Sorry, I didn't mention it earlier, but that's what I did. I came in 1 inch for my waist snatch. So I connect my dots. So here is my waist snatch. I came in with 1 inch for it. I connect it back to my armhole. I came in from my armhole with 0.5. I did what I did at the front pattern again. I came up with 0.5 and I get my midpoint to connect it. I get my armhole midpoint. I came in with 0.5 again. Just exactly what I did at the front pattern. So I connect it just to make it firm and tight. So here I want to use my front pattern to get the back pattern, to get that bohemian curve we had. So I will trace it. So I will blend it back to my corset line because the back does not have that the same shape as the front. So for my back tightening, from my chest line, from my bust line, I came in with 2 inches all the way to my corset line. But at my corset line, I came with 1.5 inches, and I connect the lines. So this is for my eyelet. So for my armhole, just mark with my free hand to give our back was to give our back perfect look. So this is our overballs corset back. For my back neck, I came down with 1.5 inches and I came in with 2.5 inches because it has turtleneck. So I curved my lines. So this is our back neckline. Ignore the first line. So I get a new paper to draft my main bodice. Mind you, you can still cut it as a normal basic bodice. So I just want to use this pattern just like I did in the first pattern. So you start drafting from your underbust. Start drafting from your underbust. So just look closely and see the line I'm drafting. Your underbust, your basic bodice, your armhole. Just the way you see me doing, you draft it. I draft my chest line, my bust point, and my underbust. So I'll go ahead and trace it out and cut it. So I'm gonna ahead to trace it out and cut it. This is what I have. So use this one to cut for your basic body lace. So let's go ahead and cut it off. So that is it for our back pattern. So if you are here to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share and comment on this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for my returning subscribers. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Have a wonderful day.